So unfortunately, it seems like I'm not going to be able to get the Boruto episode review out on Sunday, which is when I'm recording this. It's probably going to have to come out tomorrow on Monday. So sorry about that. Just the way that it is. I don't really know why things had to happen the way they did. Things have been a little bit complicated where I live, but what can you do? But we're talking about the Boruto episode, and I watched it a little bit earlier today. It took me a little bit to get into actually watching it, just because, again, some stuff was going on, and I was really distracted pretty easily by something else. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter. I watched the episode, and I completely forgot, honestly, what was honestly supposed to happen. But I remember that there was going to be, like, a fight, and maybe the animation was going to look pretty good, and yeah, pretty much Boruto and the gang fought out, and it looked really good. If I'm to say something really quick about the episode in the beginning of the video, the animation and the choreography and the combat and blah blah blah, it all looked very good. The animators who were working on the production for this episode did a very good job, and I was very impressed. There was never really a dull moment, and I actually really enjoyed it. And yeah, pretty much just what ends up happening is that the start of the episode starts off with everyone getting prepared to fight against Ao. Ao obviously still has the gauntlet thing that allows him to be able to absorb jutsu, and he's using that against Konohamaru, Sawada, and Mitsuki. And they're just repeatedly shooting off jutsus at him in particular, so that way Boruto can figure out a way to get in with that fucking chakra lightsaber fucking thing that he has. And they actually did something really smart that kind of caught me off guard as well, because I just wasn't really thinking about it. It just wasn't there subconsciously in my head. But Boruto was wearing the gauntlet, the other one that Katatsuke still had on himself. And I completely forgot he was wearing that at the end of the last episode. He actually had put that on to his arm, and he still had it. But when he attacked Ao, he wasn't wearing it. And I just kind of didn't notice it, and I was just like, wow, he's a fucking idiot for not, like, sending out a clone first before attacking him. But no, he actually sent out a clone that was holding the fucking chakra blade thing, and Ao stabbed the clone, and then Ao picked it up to try... or he stabbed the clone with the chakra blade thing itself when he picked it up, and he actually turned it on. And one note I actually want to point out, because I thought it was really cool and it's different, Ao's chakra was red. And I don't know why it was red, but it looked fucking sick. I don't know why no one else has red chakra like the way that he does, but it looked really cool. Anyways, because of the way that it works and because it's still a prototype, it pretty much ended up using most of his chakra, so they ended up getting the upper hand on being able to attack him. And then that was only like half of the episode. Ao then pretty much fucking has these drones by the halfway point. He's using them against Boruto. Boruto's the only one left to actually fight against Ao, by the way. And they have this little cool scenario where he's actually trying to challenge Ao's convictions of whether or not he truly believes that he's nothing more than just a tool and that he's no longer a shinobi. Because the whole thing about Ao in this episode is he's explaining why he's with Kara, and it's because after the war had ended in Naruto Shippuden, he pretty much lost meaning in his life, and he felt like he was weak. He felt like he had lost all of his power, and that he died a shinobi on that day, and he was reborn as nothing more than just a man trying to find some reason to keep living on and keep doing something. And when he met Kara, they, amplified him with certain scientific ninja tools, and what he had then decided was that he was going to live the rest of his life as nothing more than a tool for Kara. That was his whole new reason for living. And the whole episode was basically just Boruto, or the half of the episode rather, was basically just Boruto saying that he understands Ao's position, but the whole thing about what Ao and Kara were doing with scientific ninja tools were they were using it for evil, and ninja tools don't have to be evil just so long as you use it for the right purposes. And pretty much, yeah, he just challenges his convictions, and by the end of the episode, Ao kind of realizes the meaning of what Boruto is trying to tell him, that Ao is still at least alive. Just because he's enhanced by these ninja tools like the arm and the leg, it doesn't mean that he still isn't who he was before. He doesn't have to just be completely nothing. He can still be his own person. He can still be human. And that's kind of it. And the episode actually ends off with Boruto beating Ao, then they're getting ready to go back to the Hidden Leaf Village because that was the whole plan. But then Kashin Koji shows up, and then he summons a fucking toad. Like, just because he's like summoning to steam toad or whatever. I don't really remember what he said in particular, but he fucking summons a toad, and just like, fuck you, episode. Fuck you, Boruto, for making me fucking question whether or not this is Jiraiya or not, you motherfuckers. I was a little caught off guard about that, because I was like, what the hell? There's only one other person, or rather two people, because Konohamaru also uses toad summons as well. But I was really surprised that that happened, and we're gonna see Kashin Koji fight Boruto and the gang in the next episode. But we're also not even gonna get that. We're also gonna finally see the reveal for Boruto's karma seal actually go up his arm and actually, give Boruto some power in the fight. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen. I was not expecting this whatsoever in the previews, but it makes sense because now we finally need this to come about and become something more than just being a mark on his fucking hand, because he's had this for so long, and now that Kawaki is going to be showing up pretty soon, I would certainly say so. I feel like he's gonna have to be doing something sooner or later. He's gonna have to show up in some episode and actually do something. I think because of the fact that Kawaki's going to be showing up, I think there's a reason why Boruto's Karma Seal is finally going to be activating, and I'm not against that. I think it's finally about time that we actually have that come to fruition, because I feel like they can do something interesting with it. Finally, for the anime at least, because they've already been doing some really cool stuff in the manga apparently, so I don't know. I want to see what's actually going to happen next week. I hope that ends up leading to another really interesting fight that's also well animated. And I think that's all I can really ask for. I thought the episode was pretty good. I think it was animated well. I think the music choices for certain tones that they wanted for certain scenes was really good. And yeah, I just thought it was actually pretty decent. That's pretty much it for the episode. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.